Act 1, Scene 1, time, the present, place, a television studio. At center stage is a table and 2 chairs. Ladies and gentlemen, and sports fans from around the world, welcome to the Sports International Network's Saturday night edition of Sports Tonight Live, hosted by Merle Davenport and Lucy Lippoletti. And now, here are your hosts, Merle Davenport and Lucy Lippoletti.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another Saturday night edition of Sports Tonight. So, Lucy, how are things?
Just fine, Merle. There's lots to report. Our top story. In Major League Baseball, there's a rumor circulating that the commissioner's office may lift the ban on performance-enhancing drugs.
Wow, now that's a huge story.
According to a well-informed source inside the commissioner's office, the use of performance-enhancing drugs is now so widespread that there seems to be nothing anyone can do to stop it. And so, the commissioner is seriously considering rescinding the ban on the use of drugs and letting the players decide for themselves whether they want to play while doped up.
I'll tell you, Lucy, times are a-changing. Just a few short years ago, even the hint of drug use would have been enough to incite the wrath of the commissioner and impose major fines and even suspensions, but in this more permissive time, where anything goes, I guess baseball is just designed to stop bucking the trend and go with the flow.
That's right, Merle. I mean, if it's fine with the fans, then who is the commissioner to argue? Anyway, we'll keep you informed as this story further develops. Now, we have another story that's an exclusive to the Sports International Network and that you will find amazing. In the upstate town of Daleyville, there is a high school senior who has been averaging 48 points a game for the past 2 years. What's amazing about this story is that the senior goes to a yeshiva, which is a Jewish parochial school, and is an Orthodox Jew.
We sent one of our reporters to school, the Talmudic Institute of America, who confirmed that the young man, whose name is Israel Leventhaler, has been scoring points at a pace that would easily make him by far the leading high school scorer in the nation.
Why haven't we heard about him before?
Because, quite frankly, nobody at this network even knew that the kid existed, until last night when our reporter paid a visit. And here's that reporter now, our one and only, the unstoppable and irascible Ricky reporter. So, Ricky, tell us some more about this high school phenom.
What you said about this kid is absolutely correct. He's incredible, and you have to see it to believe it.
How did you first find out about this young man?
I got a call from a guy who lives in the area, and he told me about this kid, a basketball star named Israel Leventhaler, who I had never heard of before.
Okay, so then what happened?
The guy was adamant that I come up to the school and see the kid play for myself. And at first I thought it was a prank, and I was about to give the guy the old Evo, but the guy would not take no for an answer.
Okay, so what did you do next?
Well, I called the school and I verified that they had a student by the name of Israel Leventhaler, and that he was a member of the school's basketball team. Then they gave me the name and telephone number of the coach, Yossi Luchinsky. I called Coach Luchinsky. He told me that Israel was their best player, and he invited me to see him play at their next game, which was played last night. So yesterday, my cameraman and I got into my car and we made the 4-hour drive to the school and see the kid play. I have the tape of my interview with Israel and his coach after the game, which Talmud won by 105 to 42. Israel was fantastic. He scored 63 points, including 7 3-pointers and 5 dunks, and also had 12 rebounds, 11 assists, and 7 steals.
Wow, those stats are phenomenal.
The lights go out, and the scene 1. Scene 2, time, the previous night, place, the inside of the locker room. Players are entering, laughing, slapping each other on the back and shoulders, full of camaraderie, followed by the coach, Yossi Luchinsky, a stocky, middle-aged man with a full beard. They are all wearing yarmulkes.
Tonight, all of you played great. And even better, the game was covered by a reporter, Ricky Reporter, from the Sports International Network. Ricky will join us in the locker room in a moment. And here she is now.
Israel, tell me what it's like to be the star of this team.
Oh, it's really nothing. I'm just one of the players.
Just one of the players. You just scored 63 points. You're more like the entire team.
Look, I just do what the coach asked me to do. That's all. It's no big deal.
No big deal. Talk about being humble. Coach, tell me, is Israel just one of the players?
Israel is a marvelous player, a uniquely gifted athlete. But more than that, he's a wonderful young man.
In what way?
Besides being an incredible athlete, he's a brilliant student. He's going to be graduating in June as his class valedictorian. And then he'll be attending rabbinical college in Israel to study Torah.
So not only is he a gem on the court, but he is also a gem in class. What a combination. How do you manage that?
I say my prayers, and with the help of the Lord and thanks to my studies, good things happen. You know, I mean, basketball is important, but my studies are important too.
So how many points have you been averaging this year?
I don't really want to get into that.
Israel's been averaging 58 points a game for the past 2 years, ever since he joined the team. Before Israel joined, we hadn't won a game in 8 years. And now, nobody can even come close to us in this league.
And what league would that be?
The United Hebrew High School Athletic Association.
Tell me more about this association.
Now, the association consists of 12 schools, including ours, and we want to play teams outside of the association. But they refuse our offers, claiming that our level of play is too inferior for us to be taken seriously. They think that yeshiva kids can't play competitively.
So you think that's unfair?
Of course it's unfair. And it's untrue too. And 3 weeks ago, we finally proved it when Potterville High School, the state champion, took us up on our offer and agreed to play us in an unofficial game, of course. We beat them 97-71. After the game, Herb Connolly, Potterville's coach, had to admit that he was wrong about yeshiva kids not being able to play. Israel, of course, was our star player. He scored 47 points and was simply amazing.
It seems like your coach is also your #1 fan.
He's been almost like a father to me.
So have you thought about where you plan to go after you graduate from high school?
Well, I've been thinking about going to college in Israel.
Oh, and why in Israel?
Because that's where the best Talmudic studies programs are located.
But what about basketball?
Well, I like playing basketball, and it's something I'm really good at, but I want to become a rabbi and serve my people in that capacity.
Well, that sounds fun. But I have a feeling that after we broadcast some of this video that we took of you tonight, you might be getting a lot of attention from the pros. So would you consider turning pro?
Played pro basketball? I don't think so. Don't get me wrong, it sounds great. It's every kid's dream, but I'm a religious Jew, and I've been going to yeshiva since I was practically a baby, and the study of the Talmud is something that I truly love. And I don't know what I can do without the Talmud. It's the purpose of my life, something that I live and breathe every moment, and I'm alive and decided that I turned away from it every time I see my parents.
Even if a pro team offered you millions of dollars to sign?
Please stop pestering him with such foolish questions. Israel is a very superb young man. He's been with us all his life, and he's been blessed with superb athletic skills. He is also a marvelous intellect. And as an Orthodox Jew, his first responsibility is to his community, a principle that Israel understands and treasures.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first. The young man who may be the best high school basketball player in the United States would forego a chance to play in the pros and make millions in order to pursue a career as a rabbi. However, I have a feeling that we'll be hearing more about Israel Leventhaler, and we'll be bringing you more reports about this special young man as the story develops.
End of scene 2. Scene 3. Time, a month later. It's Friday, 7 p.m. The sun has almost set, marking the start of the Sabbath. Place, the living room in Israel's home. Sitting in the room are Israel's parents, Maya and Rivka Leventhaler. Both are middle-aged and are dressed in the style of Orthodox Hasidic Jews.
Israel is beginning to worry me. feel the same too. Ever since they showed that news report of him, it's been a mess. Every day, phone calls and more phone calls from all kinds of people who are trying to take our son away from us. That worries me. Baby, you never should have let him play basketball at school.
How was I to know that playing a game would cause such trouble? I'm going to have to talk to him.
Hello, Mom. Hello, Dad.
Where were you? We were beginning to worry.
Oh, Mom, I'm sorry for having made you worry. The train was late again. I should have called. Really, Dad, that's the truth.
Of course it is, my son. We know that you would never deliberately miss saying prayers.
I love reciting the prayers.
When you say them, it's like the finest music.
Thank you, Mom. You know I would do anything to make you happy.
You are a blessing to us, son. However, something has been bothering us.
Oh, can't it wait till after we say the prayers?
I wish it could, but we've been waiting since Monday to talk to you about it, and it can't wait any longer.
I'm sorry, Dad. I really don't know what you're talking about.
My son, we know that you've been getting a lot of phone calls lately from all kinds of fishy-sounding people wanting to recruit you to play basketball, and we want to know your plans.
Anything you want me to do, I will do.
My son, we want you to go to Israel to study to be a rabbi, but not. That decision is yours, entirely yours.
But Dad...
Israel, my child, we're here to guide you and help you make the best possible decision.
But I already said I want to go to Israel to study.
We know that, but you have not said that to the people that are calling you.
Well, I know that, Dad. I thought the calls would stop after a while,
But
and...
they haven't stopped, and we don't know what to do. Do you really want to go to Israel to study?
Yes, with all my heart.
Then why don't you just tell them?
I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Listen, we know that playing basketball could make you a lot of money, but we did not bring you up to value money, but rather to value knowledge and to study the Talmud and be of service to your congregation and to your community, who are your people. And you have a brilliant mind that should not be wasted, not for any amount of money. We did not bring you up to show yourself off on a basketball court. Go to playing before you know it, you'll be corrupted and you'll forget your studies, forget you're a Jew, and get into trouble and be ruined. We don't want that to happen to you. Has anyone at the school or in town been telling things to you that we should know?
No, Dad.
Then it's settled. You're going to Israel to study.
You've heard your father.
Yes, Mom, I heard him.
Now, it's time to prepare for Sabbath services.
Yes, it is about time.
End of scene 3. Scene 4. Time, a few days later. Place, a dormitory room. The room has a single bed, 2 chairs, a lamp, and a desk. Israel is sitting at the desk doing schoolwork at his computer. There's a knock on the door. Israel gets up from the desk and opens the door, and a young, attractive woman enters. She's dressed modestly, as is to be expected of a young Hasidic woman. Her name is Samantha Rosenstein.
Samantha, what a surprise.
Well, aren't you going to let me in?
Well, it's against the rules for guys to have girls in their rooms. So how'd you get up here anyway?
Well, I'll tell you if you let me in.
All right, but only for a little while.
Oh, I've been waiting all week to do that.
I'm waiting too. Okay, so how did you manage to evade security?
It was easy. You know me already.
They know you. I don't get it.
You will. You will. Now, did you tell your parents about our plans?
I tried, but I couldn't. They want me to go to Israel, and I don't know if I can go against their wishes.
But what about us? I mean, what about what you said to me, that you would do anything to make me happy?
Well, Sam, I meant it, really.
You weren't lying to me, were you?
No, I wasn't lying.
So then we're good, right?
Of course. Have you told your parents about us?
No, not yet.
Because you're not sure whether we have a
No,
future.
that's not it.
Well, then what is it?
I just don't think it's the right time to tell them. I mean, first you gotta let me know what your plans are.
I told my parents I want to go to Israel to study.
But what about us?
You can go to Israel with me.
That's not exactly what I had in mind. Listen, Israel, I really care about you. You're smart, you're gifted, you're kind, you're gentle, and opportunity is knocking, not just for you, but for us. I mean, I would go anywhere with you. We could be together. My father is a rabbi, and he's a brilliant scholar, and I love him, but I
I just don't want to live the rest of my life with another rabbi.
I never knew you felt that way.
Well, now you know.
You know I care about you.
Please don't leave me on.
Come on, Sam, don't cry. Please don't cry.
End of scene 4. Scene 5, time. A few days later, place, the gymnasium at the Talmudic Institute. The basketball team is practicing. Coach Luchinsky is barking out commands.
Box out. Don't foul him. Block him. That's right. Good, good. Now, let's do the pick and roll.
The players are running a play. A middle-aged, shabbily attired woman enters. She is pulling a large beat-up shopping cart, inside of which is a large plastic shopping bag crammed with various sundry articles. Her name is Leona McCauley.
Excuse me, sir. Where may I find a boy named Israel?
Oh, I'm sorry. Who were you looking for?
A boy named Israel. He's my son.
What? Everybody, take a 10-minute break. You're Israel's mother?
Yes, I am, sir.
What's your name?
Leona McCoy.
Does Israel know that you'd be visiting?
No, sir. I saw him on the news, and so I thought I'd come up to visit him.
Israel, come over here now. This lady says that her name is Leona McCauley and that she's your mother?
What? No, that can't be. My mother died when I was born.
That's not right, young man. You are my son.
Have you ever seen this woman before?
No, I haven't. I have no idea what she's talking about.
I think you ought to leave right now before I call security.
I'm no criminal. I'm the boy's mother.
You're a bag lady, that's all you are.
Wrong. I repeat, I am your mother, and I can prove it.
How?
Well, son, you got 2 birthmarks on the backside of your right knee.
She's right. What am I gonna do? I thought you were dead.
Listen, madam, Israel's gonna need time to sort this out. Is there any way he can reach you?
I'll be staying tonight at the woman's shelter in town, but I'll be back again tomorrow. Don't you worry about it.
Don't worry. You say, you waltz into my life and then you say, don't worry?
You have no cause to talk to your mother like that.
No, I already have a mother, so get out of here. I don't want to see you here again tomorrow or ever, okay?
End of scene 5. Scene 6. Time, later in the evening. Place, the living room in the Lebenthaler home. Maya is reading a newspaper and Rivka is knitting. Israel enters carrying a valise, which she slams on the floor.
Israel, we weren't expecting you until tomorrow.
You seem upset, my son.
Am I your son?
Of course you are.
What's gotten into you?
How could you do this to me?
Do what? What are you talking about?
You lied to me. You told me my mother was dead.
She is dead.
Then why did I run into her? Why did I speak to her today?
Israel, please tell us what is going on with you.
A woman showed up at the gym and told me she was my mother.
And you believed her?
No, at first no, but then she proved it.
How did she prove it?
She knew I had those 2 birthmarks behind my right knee. That's how. Now, how could she have known about that?
Oh my.
Listen, son, let me tell you something.
I'm listening.
As you know, we adopted you right after you were born. Your mother was an unmarried drug addict living in a shelter in Brooklyn, and we could not have children of our own, so we adopted you. Your mother signed over all her parental rights to us and agreed never to have any contact with you again. As far as we are concerned, she is dead to you. She remains dead to this day. Do you understand?
Now she's alive, and I'm all confused. You told me she had died, and then...
Who could that be?
Israel goes to the door and opens it. Samantha is standing at the door.
Oh my God, thank goodness I found you. As soon as I heard about what happened at the gym, I tried finding you, but I was told that you had gone home, and I just had to see you to make sure you're all right.
Who is this young lady?
A friend of mine, Papa.
Well, have her come in.
I want to introduce you to my parents. This is my father, and this is my mother.
Please, take a seat. And Israel, you sit down too. So, why are you here?
I
Because I care about Israel.
Is this young lady someone special to you?
Yes, she is.
So you've been keeping her a secret from us too? So young lady, what's your name?
Samantha Rosenstein. I'm a senior at the Talmudic Girls Academy, and I live with my parents a few miles outside of Dalyville.
Young lady, do your parents know that you're here?
No, they don't.
Then I suggest you leave right now. Go home.
Well, I won't until I know that Israel is okay.
We can deal with the situation without your help. Thank you.
Everything's fine, Samantha.
Yeah, no, that's not what I heard. I heard you were really upset.
What do you want from Israel?
I want him to be happy because I care about him a lot.
Is that because his name has been in the news?
No, that's not it at all.
Maybe you want something from our son.
I love Israel and I want him to be happy, and if he is happy, then I'll be happy too. What's wrong with that?
Young lady, for a religious Jewish girl, you have a lot of nerve. Are you the one who's been filling Israel's head with all kind of nonsense about playing pro basketball?
Please leave her out of this.
How can we? She barged her way in, and I don't like that, and I don't like her. So get out of here and don't ever show up here again, you hear me? I know all about nasty girls like you. I don't care if you're religious or not. A tramp is a tramp. You give Jews a bad name. I feel so sorry for your parents. I will pray for them. But for you, I only have contempt. A good Jewish girl should be at home doing her homework, not running after some boy, even if he is my son. You're trying to turn him against us, and I won't have it, you hear? I will slap you on the face if you ever show up here again. So get out. I won't let you hurt my son.
You heard your mother. We raised you from a newborn. We have given you everything. We have loved you, we protected you and nourished you, and now you come back and accuse us of being deceitful, all the while seeing this troublemaker behind our backs who desecrates our home by her very presence. So, young lady, I think it is time for you to leave.
I didn't mean to do anything bad. I only care about Israel, that's all. Please believe me.
Look what you've done.
She can cry all she wants. In fact, she can cry all the way back to her home.
How can you be so cruel?
We're being cruel? I think you better think on that again, young man. And as for your girlfriend here, I don't know why she's still here.
When she leaves, I'm going with her.
Fine! You do that, you ingrate. We should never have adopted you.
Well, now I'm finally seeing your true colors.
And we're finally seeing your true color too. The color of stupid. Now, please leave before you give your father and me a heart attack.
End of scene 6. Scene 7. Time, a few days later. Place, the SIN studio. Merle and Lucy are seated at the table.
We have just received word that Israel Lebenthaler, the most touted high school basketball player in the nation today, is currently staying in a homeless shelter.
That's incredible, Merle. And for more on this developing story, here's our star reporter, Ricky Reporter.
I'm Ricky Reporter, coming to you from the Fair Harbor Homeless Shelter located a few miles away from the Talmudic Institute, where America's #1 basketball player, Israel Lebenthaler, attends school. We have just learned that Israel was admitted to the shelter several days ago, reportedly after he was thrown out of his home. He's now staying with a woman who claims to be his mother. With us is the manager of the shelter, Irving Rappaport. Mr. Rappaport, can you confirm that Israel Lebenthaler is currently staying at the shelter?
Due to confidentiality regulations, I cannot discuss who is residing at this facility.
But can you confirm that a well-known celebrity is currently residing here?
All I can say is that we provide shelter for a large clientele who arrive at our doorstep for a variety of reasons, including domestic discord.
And how far away is your shelter from the Talmudic Institute?
I'd say about 5 miles.
And do you provide shelters for families?
Yes, we do.
One more question. Is it possible that a certain now famous high school sports celebrity is now staying here?
I won't confirm or deny it. That's the best I can do.
Thank you, Mr. Rappaport. I've just been speaking with Irving Rappaport, the manager of the Fair Harbor Homeless Shelter, where high school basketball star Israel Lebenthaler is said to be temporarily residing. More on the story as the situation further develops.
End of scene 7. Scene 8. Time, 1 hour later. place, a room with shelter. The room is furnished with a worn sofa, a large bed on a metal frame, and a large television screen and 2 wooden chairs. Leona and Israel are sitting on a chair. A large duffel bag containing Israel's clothing is leaning against one of the walls. Israel is still wearing his Hasidic clothing.
So you got yourself thrown out of your home. And here you are staying with me.
Thank you for taking me in.
Don't thank me. Thank Mr. Rappaport. It's his place.
You know what I meant.
I don't know what you mean. You have to speak plainly, otherwise it causes misunderstandings. Didn't they teach you that in school?
They teach us a lot there.
I bet they do. And a lot of good it's done you. Look at you now. A good-looking, red-blooded all-American boy. Looking and sounded like a Jewish bookworm. I should have never listened to that social worker and given me up for adoption. But I didn't know any better at the time, and besides, I was alone and had no money, and so off you went. And not before I named you Johnson, Jefferson, Davis, McCullough. That is your real name, not Israel Leventhaler. You are a son of the South, descended from heroes who fought for a cause and lost. Do you understand, Johnny?
But I've been brought up as a Jew.
I know that, but that's all window dressing now. You hear? You're not a Jew, you're a Christian. After you was born, I had you baptized right in the hospital by the hospital chaplain, so I declared you Christian. Now, let's go over this again. What's your name?
Johnny.
Johnny what?
Johnny McCullough.
Oh, that's right. And who's your mother?
You.
Oh, right again. When I saw that news report about you, I was so proud of you. I was ready to burst. And here we are now together.
Who's my father?
I don't want to talk about him now ever. He's one of the reasons why they give you up the bone. But what's past is past.
Yes, I'm sorry I asked.
You should also be sorry for the way you talked to me from your coach when I visited you at the gym. That's no way to talk to your mother.
I was shocked. I didn't know what to think.
Okay. Now, but don't let it happen again. Now, I want you to play basketball and be a star.
But what about my studies?
What about it?
But I told my parents.
I'm your parent. Get that through your head. And you are my son. Period. And starting right now, you are no longer to consider yourself Jewish. Do you understand?
But I am Jewish.
You weren't listening. I told you what you are.
But nobody has ever told me I wasn't Jewish.
That's because nobody was around to tell you the truth.
I don't know what to think.
What's there to think about? I'm your mother, and I want what's best for you. Book learning is fine, but it doesn't put food on the table. For that, you need money. And the more money you have, the better. I know that from being on the street. Who is it?
It's me, Irving.
What do you want?
There's a girl who wants to talk to you about your son.
Is she a reporter?
No, at least I don't think so. I didn't ask.
Well, find out who she is, and if she ain't a reporter, show her in.
Well, how come you don't want me to talk to reporters?
Because we ain't about to give them a story for nothing. Let them wait. In due time, they'll be paying through the nose. No sense dishing out food for nothing if they're willing to pay. Come in. Who's this young lady?
She said she's Israel's friend.
You know this girl?
Yes, I do. She's a friend.
Oh, a friend. What's your business here, young lady?
I heard that Israel was staying here, and I was worried sick, wondering if he was all right.
Of course he's all right. I'm his mother. Nobody's gonna hurt him at all. Now, what's your name?
My name is Samantha.
I'm gonna leave now. I gotta get back to the front desk.
Okay, Irvin. And thanks. Now, what do you want with my boy?
Nothing, I just wanted to know if he was all right.
You expect me to believe that?
Please, she's just a friend, just a friend.
A pretty young thing like her has to be more than just a friend. Where do you live?
A few miles outside of town. I'm a senior at the Yeshiva School for Girls.
Well, now, a pretty Jewish young lady cares for my boy. How convenient. Did you have anything to do with him being thrown out of his home?
No, Samantha had nothing to do with that.
I'm asking her, not you. When young men are in trouble, a young lady is usually the cause. So I want to get at the bottom of this now.
Well, I care about Israel and I wouldn't want any harm done to him. I can't help how I feel.
You girls out today are all alike. A bunch of spoiled brats who think they can get by on their looks as if that's something that really matters. Well, it doesn't matter. I was young once and pretty too, just like you, except, of course, I was poor. Look at me now, homeless, standing in a shelter and stuck with a boy who thinks he's a Jew. You have to look out for conniving females. They come in all shapes and colors, and they're all alike. Sweet on the outside and devils on the inside. So, what did she put you up to do?
We talked about my signing with a pro team.
I knew it! There's the angle! Young lady, I should throw you out right now. Just run you out of this building, but I won't. Because, well, you kind of remind me of me when I was your age. Except I was run with a different kind of crowd, a street crowd. I can tell that my boy, by the way, his name is Johnny, not Israel, has feelings for you. And I don't want to tamper with that. Feelings are a powerful thing. But if I so much suspect that you are trying to get the one up on me, well, young lady, out you go. You get it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, don't ma'am me. I'm not your mother. My name's Leona, and I'm just a humble, homeless lady who's trying to look out for her boy. Oh, now stop making such a fuss. Oh, you young gals nowadays getting so demonstrative. They teach you that in school?
No, they don't. I just want to be free.
Oh, don't we all? But the sentiment is appreciated. Now, what I want you to do is to go home and be a good girl and don't you worry about my boy. Okay?
Okay. I'll leave if that's what Johnny wants.
It might be best for now until we get things sorted out. I love you.
Young love. Really wonderful.
End of scene 8, end of Act 1.